Hey everyone, welcome to Own Your Time, a channel for small business owners. Get ready to harness your most precious asset, your time, with intention, enabling you to create a life that thrives in simplicity, ease, and joy. I'm your host, Sarah Stewart, Glasgow-based time management expert. My approach combines the wisdom of traditional time management strategies with the transformative power of mindfulness, and it's my commitment to help you to get more time for the things that really matter. If you're ready to ditch the hustle culture and overwhelm and instead embrace peaceful productivity, you're in the right place. In each episode, we're going to dive into the key elements of conscious time management, mindfulness, intentional living, and the dynamics of running a small business. Join me as we explore practical strategies to overcome time constraints, manage stress, and make intentional choices that align with your goals and aspirations. And for this first installment, I thought I would start by sharing my story. So I'd love to share with you a little bit more about why I'm so passionate about making the best use of my time and helping other people to do the same. So let me take you back to a particular moment in time that changed the trajectory of my life. The phone ringing downstairs woke me up. I was in my bed and I glanced over to my alarm clock. It was after midnight and no one picked up the phone. And my dad's mobile started ringing shortly after. And in that moment, I knew exactly why. My mum had died. And I was 19 years old when my mum passed away. She had ovarian cancer. And losing my mum as a teenager is very much part of my story, and it led me to be the person that I am today. So I was midway through my pharmacy degree when I lost my mum. And all of a sudden, not only did I have my university classes to attend, there was exams to study for, I had my part-time job. So I was a lifeguard, less Baywatch and more local council pool. But then on top of that, I had a household to manage as well. So there were meals to cook for the family, laundry to wash, a home to clean. And my dad hired me a life coach, and some of the first things that we tackled were how to prioritize my to-do list and manage my time. I'm not sure what it's like now, but I wasn't taught these important skills at school. And, organization and planning then became an integral part of my identity. And I do wholeheartedly believe that it's been these skills that have allowed me to flourish professionally and personally. So I knew that retail pharmacy wasn't for me. And after my degree, I went straight in to complete a PhD in pharmaceutical sciences with a view of working in the pharmaceutical industry. So yes, I'm a doctor. And I then niched into project management, leveraging my strengths in organisation. In my most recent employment with a global pharmaceutical firm, I climbed the ladder to Senior Director of Programme Management, and I was responsible for project management teams across Europe and the US. During this time, I got married. I had 2 children. My son is now 15 and my daughter is 13. And I also got divorced. And I did not expect to be a single parent at 30 years old with 2 children under 3. And so then as a single parent, managing my time well became even more crucial. So if you picture the scene, it's 5 p.m. We're in the kitchen of a family home. The kids are at the breakfast bar doing their homework. They're hungry and they're starting to get a bit fractious. The dog is scratching at the back door, wanting to get outside. And the mum is sweating over the cooker. Her laptop's propped up precariously beside her. She has one eye on the screen and another eye on dinner. And her phone is nestled between her ear and her shoulder, allowing her to free up her hands to stir the pot. Turkey bolognese, she shouts out across to the kids who want to know what's for dinner. And then suddenly, through the phone, she hears her boss shout, "We don't need to know your lunch order, Sarah." And it seems my phone had come off mute whilst I was on a call with the US executives. And at that point, I knew that enough was enough. The overwhelm, the stress, juggling all the things. And over time, I began to resent my work. I was disliking what it had done to my home life. And then the COVID pandemic struck. And that was a massive wake-up call for me. All my work travel ceased and I was forced to stay at home. So I've got Crohn's disease and I was in the shielding category because of the medication that I take for it. Now, work was still crazy busy, but I was safe at home and I had so much more free time than ever before because I was no longer traveling. And I used my time well, and I invested again in personal development and hired another life coach. Now, I also binge watched a lot of Outlander, but that was a good use of my time too. And my coach challenged my thinking. She encouraged me to dream big. And I knew that there was more to my life than the current existence that I sort of felt stuck in. And knowing my story, it's perhaps unsurprising that I am aware of the limited time that we have. And now, at the age I am, so at the time of recording this, I'm actually going to be 43 next week. And my mum would have had 8 years left of her life. And so if I was to put myself in her shoes, and if I only had 8 years, how would I want to be spending them? And it's thinking, around that concept of our time is precious. We are not going to get it back. And so in 2021, I made the decision to leave my employment. And now I work for myself as a time and project management expert. I've also carved out time each week for volunteering, and I run mindfulness meditation sessions at my local hospice. And I really do know deep down that my mum would be ever so proud. And I am super grateful that I had the courage to take that leap. And I'm really excited to be able to share my wisdom and my learnings with others in my work. And I'm going to be sharing more with you here. So my ethos is less about busyness and more about peaceful productivity and mindful living. And yes, there's that element of the doing and getting stuff done, but it's about getting the right stuff done and then allowing yourself to carve out time for the other things. And so I work with small business owners to help them get more time for the things that really matter. And if you haven't yet downloaded my free time audit workbook, then I'd encourage you to do so. In this free resource, I share with you how you can own your time. See what I did there? So thank you for joining me on this first and short episode. Next time, I'm going to start sharing some practical strategies that you can implement to reclaim control of your time and build a thriving life and business. And if you enjoyed today's video, I would love for you to subscribe, leave a comment if you can. I am trying this year, so it's 2025. One of my goals is to really get my YouTube back up and running again. I want to try and monetize the channel. So that is very much one of my goals for this year, and I would appreciate your support as I try and get this endeavor off the ground. So you can get access to my free workbook on my website. It is www.sarahstewart.co.uk, and I'll put all the links in the show notes. And then you can also connect with me on social media for additional resources and community engagement, updates and so on. I also write a weekly newsletter, so there's normally some great time management tips that I include there, and that list is normally the first place that gets sort of the extra freebies and things. So it's definitely worthwhile joining my mailing list. Okay, until next time, bye for now.